Hi, I'm Lee, and this is Kiln Opening number 6. Well, it's more like Kiln Reveal number 6. I opened the kiln about a week ago, but just haven't had time to fire it. In this reveal, I have some refires. I'm highlighting 4 glazes. I've got some student work, and I have this little thing that I do, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. But I just wanted to show you how I do it and the interesting results they've created. Okay, these 2 vases are refires. I actually had them in my last video showing the before refire and the after refire. I will post a photo with what the glazes are and where they're applied. Speedball, mid-fire, Dragonstone. Vertical, non-texture, really pretty. I like the purpley red against the turquoise color. There's on the vertical, I like how it runs. Very stable. Nice little set. And this is with Honey Flux. Honey Flux was applied to here and it ran. So it's nice and stable. I took this right down to the bottom with just the Dragonstone and the Honey Flux to here. And when these Speedball glazes are applied, they're quite stable, but when you mix them with other glazes, including other Speedball glazes, they run nicely. I really like how the Honey Flux turned the red purple to a really nice blue color. PC67 River Rock. Why are there so many pieces? Well, I accidentally bought a gallon of River Rock and not a pint. So I have to find some really good combinations to use with River Rock. This is River Rock on a flat piece with no texture. I really like what's happening here, and I like how it breaks over the rim. But where there's no texture, it's okay. River Rock on texture. I really like what's going on here. Look at all of the different variants of color that you get. This texture is a little deeper, so I think the deeper the texture, the darker the color. But I like how this and this is exactly the same depth, but you've got more of a blue here and more of a browny red over there. Might be because it's a bit thicker, I have no idea. But I really, really like this particular application for this glaze. This is another piece, and this was in the cooler part of the kiln, so I don't know if that's why you're not getting the same look as the last piece, or if because the texture here isn't as deep. See where the texture is deeper, you're getting more of the pooling. Where it's not as deep, you're getting the same kind of reddish brown that you got, or that I got on the flat piece with no texture. So I think that's what's going on. So I think if you're going to use, or if I'm going to use River Rock on texture, I want to do a deep impression so that I get something more like this as opposed to this. This is River Rock on the bottom from here down, and then snow from here up. I've got an imprint of some wheat here, and I really like how it's pooling inside of the texture on the wheat, and it's giving this sort of broken glass look to it. And I really like the river rock and the snow combination when the snow's overlapped. I just wish I had done it up higher, so brought the river rock up higher and the snow up to here, so that this strip would have been more in the sky as opposed to the top of the texture. So that has some promise. These two are both PC67 River Rock on vertical texture with PC17 Honey Flux just on the top portion. Again, this was in the hotter part of the kiln. Compared to this, I'm going to have to probably change something in my kiln because the top part of the kiln is getting much hotter than the bottom part, so I'm going to have to do some testing. But I really like it on the cooler, better on the warmer. I love this little red coming up. This dish here, I got the idea from Clayshare. They had Earth to Annie, and she's absolutely fabulous. You should check out her website. She showed us how to make this textured bowl, deep bowl. So I followed her pattern and just turned them into noodle bowls. But I think they look fabulous. She's an excellent artist. And then this one here, I'm not as crazy about. It could also be that there's more texture. On here, there's a lot of texture there, but there's also a lot of space in between the texture to give the glaze a chance to do its thing. Where here, it's just breaking over so much that it's just, to me, confusing and too much to look at. And it also ran a lot. 607 Opulence Sea Spray. Thank you, Sally Roper from Jamaica. You made me try this glaze. I've seen it on some of your pieces and I absolutely love this color, so I gave it a go. Okay, this is Sea Spray on a horizontal textured surface. This is the test style and it came out really nice, but the texture is very deep. On the plate, I don't know if you can see it if I shine the light, but there is texture there, but it's really not showing up. So I was surprised by that because it almost seems like a more translucent type glaze. See how it breaks on the edge? You can really see it. So I was expecting to see more of the texture. Sea Spray on a horizontal flat piece. Look at that color. It's my favorite. So pretty. Sea Spray on a vertical textured surface. Again, this bowl design is from Earth to Annie. Check out her website. She gives you the template on how to do this on Clayshare. She showed you exactly how to do it. It was a wonderful class that was offered. And this is Sea Spray all over and then Honey Flux from here down. And I think that's really pretty. Horizontal, no texture. Really nice color. Again, I am a fan of turquoise. Horizontal with texture. It hit all the texture. Don't know if you can see the print. If I can catch it in the reflection. It had a pretty good texture on it. It wasn't overly deep, but it was definitely showing. But once I put this on, I lost all the texture. Vertical texture showed up nicely. Vertical, no texture. Nice color. A little thin here where it breaks. It looks nice. And with honey flux. Pretty stable, didn't run. Fire and Ice PC72. On texture, it's okay. It really shows up, especially on this texture here on the side. But on the whole plate, it's just okay. It's not too exciting. On vertical texture, it's okay. I'm not overwhelmed by the glaze itself. It breaks kind of a blue white, and it's kind of a purpley color. It looks all right, but it's just not exciting. Now, I didn't layer this with any other color because I really wanted to see what it would do. So I will try to see what maybe a blue or honey flux or maybe pearl white will do with it, and maybe it'll give it a little bit of pizzazz. But as it is here, it's just okay. My favorite for this glaze is probably the flat non-texture surface. I like how it breaks the blue-white over the edges and how the purple is nice and flat. I think this looks good, but honestly, unless it combines with other glazes nicely, I think this is the only application I'll use it for. Okay, these gnomes, they were all built at Christmas. They were glazed and left to be fired, didn't get fired. Finally got around to firing them with this kiln. So I will do my best, but I'm pretty sure I know what the glazes are. I apologize if I'm off, but I couldn't find the original notes, but I'm pretty sure this is what they are. So these two and this one on the inside and the outside, first layers, are HF56 Red Gloss by Amaco. And then the beards on all of these is the speckled white or speckled buff Ongo by Mayco. And then on the outside of this one here is SW146 Aurora Green. And then this one at the back, her sweater is SM29 Blue Green, and the inside and the hat is SW166 Norris Blue ×2 with SW154 Shipwreck ×1 on top. So this one here, I got the glaze idea from John the Potter. He does this on some of his mugs, and I thought it looked gnomish. Also with these gnomes, they hold 20 ounces and they're hefty mugs. So I'm going to redesign them to try to make them a little bit lighter. These are hand built, not thrown. And once I do that, I will post a video on how I do it. And then this is a new design, which is a spoon rest, using the exact same gnome idea, who I actually originally got this idea from Hobble Creek. She makes a miniature gnome, and she shows you how to do it, and fantastic video. And I've taken it and I've made all sorts of different gnome things, which I will share at a later date. Okay, this is a student's piece. This is a utensil holder, and on the top and on the inside is PC17 Honey Flux. And then this line right here is PC58 Tuscany. And then the gray here is SW142 Gray Matte. And the bottom is SW140 Black Matte. I think she picked beautiful glazes. Again, I sent the students into the glaze room. They know what they want. They were looking for particular colors. This is what they picked. I helped them find the correct ones that would go well together. And they did the rest, and I think she did a really good job. This is a piece by the same student. She was part of the original group from last Kiln Unload, but she wasn't available for the glaze day, so she had to glaze on a separate day. That's why her pieces are in this kiln load. Anyways, she wanted to do her flowers vibrant but not overpowering. So she used celadons, and she used C65 Tangelo, C60 Marigold, C41 Pear, C49 Rainforest, and C, in the background she used C43 Wasabi. And then she took a layer of 1431 pearl white and did one coat over top. I actually got that idea from Anna, from Anna's Clay House, I believe is the name of her channel, and she did it on a couple of her mugs to soften the color, and it works really well. Okay, these are John's, and they're refires. This one is Obsidian C1, Snow C10, Seaweed PC42, and Smoky Merlot PC57. And this one is very similar. It is Obsidian C1, Snow C10, and Smoky Merlot PC57. These are John's. They are Rainforest C49 times 3 and Snow C10 times 3 on top. And I think he finally got the effect he was looking for. Look at all those oil spots, some drips going on, really nice. Okay, these are John's medallion mugs. This one here is sandalwood on the horse, and that's C33, and Lagoon C26 on the mug. This guy here is mulberry with C57 with obsidian C1 and sandalwood C33. And this last one is Sky C21 and Rainforest C49, and it's SM1 black and Snow C10, and then I think that's where this guy is, and I think this is just C49 Rainforest. Okay, Pinterest made me do it. I'm not going to mention the person's name who posted this on Pinterest. I can't really remember it and have to go look it up. But also, all they said, they didn't really post the glaze combination. All they said was that Honey Flux looks nice over satin patina. So it is Honey Flux PC17 over SW 164 satin patina. And then the dark green on the bottom, they didn't list what they used. So I just looked to see what I had that was the closest, and I had SW 210 Emerald. And I like how the emerald goes with the patina, but what I don't like is the patchiness down here. The combination is really pretty. Okay, so as a lot of you know, when you're glazing, doing the brush on glazing, you have leftover glaze left on your brush. So instead of just taking it and putting it in the water and getting rid of it in the water, I'm sure a lot of people do, as I do, is use a plate, and it's called a brush wash plate, and you just get all of the glaze off onto the plate. And then when you finish, you just put your brush in there, and then you end up with brush wash glaze plates like this, and take them to the markets and they sell. Even these petri dish looking ones. So what I've done is I started being a little bit more purposeful on my glaze wash plates. After I glaze, I have something left. I take my plate and I put it in a spot that I think is going to add a little more interest to the plate. And then you end up with things more like these guys, which I added a coat of pearl white on top, the same tip that Anna from Anna's Clay House gave us, and they end up like this, and they look really nice. And I took it even a step further, and I started doing it, okay, I'm only going to do yellows and reds on this half, and blues and blacks and greens on that half. And then you ended up, and then I put a coat of pearl white on top, and you ended up with something more like this. Then I went even further. I was using a lot of the floating glazes, so I was using more of a gradient to give me a sky. And this is just from doing washing my brush, not adding any other color other than pearl white on top at the end. I just kept in mind where I was applying the colors. Blues and blacks here, greens here, purples here, reds, pinks, yellows, oranges, and whites all on the top. And then just did a coat of pearl white, and I ended up with this. This is the last one that I did. I have to refire because I got a crawl here, but I only did whatever greens I was doing, I only put on the turtle, so greens and yellows. And then these are purples and blues, and some reds and some yellows on here as well. But mainly purples and blues. And I came up with this, and I think it looks really sharp, and it's a way to keep the glaze out of the landfills and using everything that you have. Glazes are expensive, so it's nice to use them up. Stay tuned for my next video where I show you how to make this little chickie for Easter. Please like and subscribe and comment, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.